cutting the grass and blowing and weed whacking and all this stuff, but I still am in my vibe, in my mood to talk to y'all about something that happened that I thought was kind of funny. I'm actually gonna, don't mind me, I'm gonna move this though, so I can have space for my, there we go. So I was on my way to get my nails fixed. Hey, TT, wanna say hi? She is never not far. Say hi. I was on my way to my nail appointment. Broke a nail, and I passed two little ladies sitting on their front porch, just talking, and they just look so glamified. Then, so I'm thinking about that, and I'm just like, you know how you look at someone and you just admire the whole package, and you're just like, oh. And then, so I'm driving a little more, and then I come to stoplight, and I see another lady. Now, she's got this pearly white, you know, that iridescent, really pretty pearly white Cadillac. And, you know, she's got her white hair slayed, the curls. She had the little low cut came down. She had her earrings. She had her leopard print, cheetah print. She had the rings on. She had the makeup done. She had to have been in her 70s. I said, okay, mama. And that just, as I often do, that just prompted such a whirlwind of thoughts. And I was like, video topic, because this has been something that I have, excuse me, hold on. I slurp when I drink, but I'm in the mood for my coffee. But yes, baby. It has been something that I have always noticed throughout my life. It could be that I sometimes feel like I'm an old soul, but I've always had older friends, older women that just had such an influence in my life, and they were like my adopted aunties or adopted grandmas. It started when I was like 11 or 12. We had a neighbor. So while we were building a house, we stayed in like a little rental property not far from where our house was, and it was a very older neighborhood, way out in the country. And so this older woman and her husband, they both befriended me, but I would go over there for, I don't know how it started or why, but, well, I guess I should backtrack. Once our families got to know each other, she knitted. So I was so intrigued by her knitting with the boards and the round looms. So she started to teach me how to knit. But even beyond that, once I got a hang of it, I would just go for hours and sit and chit chat with her. And I just learned so much about, high Black society at that time. He had been a chiropractic doctor and had a military history in the military. And so they lived in the fancy hills of California, and their girls were involved in like debutante balls and things like that at a time where that wasn't your typical Black experience. And when I saw pictures and heard stories of their lives when they were younger and raising their girls, I just thought of like, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or the Cosby Family, like that type of world. So she was just I just loved her so much. And then across the street was her aunt. And so she's older than her. We also were very close. We'd go over there and pick her apples, and we'd spend time with her. Come ahead, I'm in community college, and I had a girlfriend that her and I became very tight, but I became really, really close with her mom. I mean, it could be a day where she's like, hey, what you up to? And I'm like, girl, I'm with your mom. We getting ready to go thrift shopping or whatever. I just always gravitated toward older people. I don't know why. They're just easy to talk to. They always have advice. They always have amazing stories. They always want to insert historical facts and all these things. And they're just such gems to me. But there's a different type of older person, an elderly person, however you want to, that you could just tell that they have just such a zest of life. And it doesn't come by accident. It doesn't come by coincidence. And it doesn't even have anything to do with their Black, white. I've always met older people that just had some spark about them that seemed like, life was everything that they made it. They saw the beauty. They felt like they were lucky. They felt like they were deserving. They felt like they're gonna, live it to the best and show up and show out. And it started with their personality in the sense of like their outlook, and then of course fashion. And that's why I like felt like, let me go home, put my little stuff on. I mean, I had this blouse on, but I had a different necklace on, no earrings. And this hat, I mentioned Boutique Show. They are at the Spotsylvania Mall. This hat is just everything. She had an orange one and a tan one. And I've only actually worn this hat once. So I was like, can I pull this off? Can I pull it off? And so I just wanted to share that with you all. And for those of you who don't know, I mentioned it a while back, but she has expanded so much with her shop that now she has one in Tyson Corner. Y'all know that mall has everything. I mean, everything. The Gucci store is there. The Louis Vuitton store is there. So I know that for her and her line, that was just such a major, major move. I haven't been out to Tyson's in some years, so I will continue to support her at the little old Spotsylvania Mall. No shade to them, but of course, you know, it's... Anyway, so I want to talk about the mindset behind it. Those type of women that I notice, I will highlight. Even my grandmother, even an aunt that I have, and even another good family friend. These women, I mean, it was no occasion too big or small for your pearls, your diamonds, your furs, your animal print, full face of makeup. Gotta have your perfume. I mean, these women are divas in the sense that, like, they know how to adorn themselves and they love themselves at any weight, at any age, with the grays, with the snow white hair, with the extensions, with the natural. They're working with it all. And you see them, they know how to just so gracefully transition their style as their body changes and their hair changes and all these other things. That's the first thing. It's the confidence for me. What they do in their spare time, they're constantly busy, and not busy in a bad way, not busy in a negative way, but busy with their passions, the things that they love. So these women still sing. These women still get down with the shopping. You hear me? Get down. Even if you're a thrifter, you are always snagging the really eclectic finds, the really, you know, sequins, rhinestone, velvet, furs, leather, like. And even if that's not your style, they're always, my point is that they're always keeping themselves up and really exploring and really, like, what's the word I'm trying to say? Expressing themselves through their wardrobe. And even if it's not every day, you know, for church, for sure, any kind of family function, going to dinner, they are dressed. They don't have any issues with being the best dressed person in the room, okay? That's another thing I noticed. These women know how to shop and shop smart, or even if they are going to go all out, they still ain't hurting, okay? Fulfillment. They keep, and I think that ties into being busy. Going back to the hobbies, there have been so many women that I have known that have just kept up with the things that they love. Their gardening, their art projects. Did I mention singing and choirs? Oh, there was a woman who was very active with her senior golf league, and she was actually going to go to Florida and be involved with that. I always admired that she was in her 70s. Like, there's nothing holding you back from any kind of limitations during COVID. You know, it's so far, and, you know, what about your knee and your back and all these things? No, they're at least gonna try. My grandma had another good friend who, she was an avid traveler. So there was no cruise, no tour, no anything that she wasn't going to be a part of in some shape or form. So she was always expanding her horizons as far as just going to new places. And one thing about her, she was not afraid to go alone. I talked about that in another video of mine, of just my mentality with my life and me making sure that it is rich and always going to be what I want it to be. You know, and I'm not waiting for permission and waiting for anyone else to give that experience to me. There's a power in that. I want to go back to my girlfriend's mom, who is no longer with us, but my admiration for her whole life was that she just had this little, you know, her laughter was contagious. Her warmth and her friendliness. She never met a stranger, and even if she might not even agree with the things that you do or the situation. You would never know it unless she sat down with you and said, this is how I feel about this said individual, this situation. But hey, and her little saying was, believe you me, da-da-da-da-da-da. She didn't involve herself in any kind of drama to where it was going to change how she treated you and it was going to deplete her energy. Now, I'm not saying that, I'm talking about people that entertain drug dealers and murderers, Crips and Bloods and all this stuff. Yeah, we're all human. Kumbaya. No, you got to have a fine line, but it's still something to be said about a person that no matter what scenario or vibe that you're carrying, you still feel that warmth. And at the end of the day, those people are still human. Okay? And so she was her house was warm and colorful and bright. It embodied her personality. She had a mauve room. She had a burnt orange room. I can't even remember what color her living room was. I can't even remember, but just so... The best word I can describe it is vibrant. And I rented a room from her. And I just felt so... It's just every day was a new adventure. Every day was like, I don't know what we finna get into today. You know what I mean? Or what's she gonna be talking about today? She would always be thinking of you. She would pick you up something. There was nothing that, she wouldn't give you or pick up for you or because, we wore similar size clothes and we wore the same shoe size. So that was always fun. And she would say, hey, Ash, can you fit these? Can you wear this? I picked this up. I found this. And it was just her giving spirit. Another thing that I admired about her was that she never let a man define her. Now, I know that partnership, and that's just a whole nother thing, but I watched her actively date in her older age, and it never changed her, and it never set any kind of limitations on her. And when I tell you this man was in love with her, because I think it was her independent spirit and her zest and her, like, not independent, like I don't need you and I don't want you or there's no space for you in my life, but I really think it was more about how she felt about herself and her time and her energy and, her loving all the other things that she had going on. So she was a little mysterious. She was a little unavailable. She was busy with her friends and family and her grandkids and her church activities and all the things that she liked to do around her house. And so I watched this man chase her until honestly, she was no longer with us. And that was such a beautiful thing. And that was the span of a good 9 years plus, honestly, because they were together. They started dating before Autumn was even born. Autumn is about to be 10 in September. Okay. This man, there was nothing that man wouldn't do for her. He would come around and fix the house. He built her he inserted like a back door in her room so that when you came out the master bedroom, he built her a deck. And I know she put, cute little plants and a little seating area up there. He was always doing what he could to spoil her, treat her, gift her. He proposed twice. She lovingly told him, baby, not now or no, or however she said it. Look, he still was there. You hear me? And no matter what their dynamic was or what her reasons were, she still was, you just saw his adoration for her in his eyes when you came around and how he just loved being in her presence. And it was just such a beautiful thing to see. My grandmother had a friend that I vaguely remember just coming around and being there and, driving her around and doing little things. And it's like these women, it's fit in how you get in, you know what I mean? And I think that was just so beautiful to see because they never let that define them, or maybe they were at a place financially or just even spiritually and emotionally where it's like, I've shared my life, my home with someone else before, been there, done that. Excuse me. We can be friends, but I have my boundaries and you can either respect my boundaries or the door. And those men chose to rather have them in their life than to not have them at all. So, there's a lot to be said. We can't be afraid to move how we need to move. You know what I mean? Hold on. I had one other thought in my head about the dynamic. What else did I wanted to say about these women? There's one more thought I had. But yeah, no. What made me really too want to share this too was that come in, you don't have to knock, baby. This is something that I inspire just when you come in, close the door because Autumn's got the TV loud. I'm making a YouTube video. This is something that I inspire to embody as I gracefully age. Y'all hear me? Gracefully. Aging is not something that I feel like, yes, baby.
I don't see the barbecue sauce.
It's probably on the refrigerator door.
I checked there, but it's not there.
Ask Autumn to help you find it.
Okay.
You know, your attitude and your beliefs around age, I feel like age is nothing but a rite of passage in community, in life, and your own due respect, because it means you have survived, you have seen, you have lived, and you have learned. Because if you're always ever going forward, then you have to be improving. You should be improving, and it's going to just radiate from you. So your fine wrinkles and your snow white hair and that pepper gray beard, all of that just simply says, put some respect on my name, because I have a legacy behind me. If you care to know, if you ask me, they will gladly share, and they will gladly give anything that they can to help you come up, if nothing else but just a word of wisdom or encouragement or whatever. You just never know, or connect you with someone, or put a bug in your ear, or suggest something that you never even knew was a thing. I mean, I've even had patients on my unit do that, where if you just give them a bit of time, and I mentioned this in my surviving nursing tip, is one of the videos, is like, it's a secret. Listening. When you listen, take the time to connect with people and listen. Sometimes it's drama, but most of the time it's a lot of good there, and it's a lot of beautiful, rich stories and rich lessons and wisdom there that you can just, it's for me, it's just, I so appreciate people, when they say, you're young, don't give up, blah, 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 blah. I had one gentleman who was in his 70s, and he asked me, was I married? And I said no. And he said, well, let me tell you something. Age ain't nothing but a number. Older white man too. And he said, I met the love of my life when I was in my late 30s, which was old in those days, older. She was my first serious thing, and she was widowed with 2 children, and I loved her and them boys, and that was my family, and we never had children together, but that she is the love of my life. Why did he choose to share that with me? Why at that moment we were, he had to do his laps after his surgery and move that gas and all that stuff. I'm like, are you like, I felt like he could see through my heart and my experience, because I didn't say anything to him about what I had been through and my, my life. But what are the odds of that? And how encouraging is that to know that, back then when people got married, right out of high school, some and started families very early on, this man chose to wait, and in his waiting and his patience, and also, too, finding her at a place in her life where I'm sure she never imagined to be, as a widow to 2 young boys. Look how life brought them together. What a beautiful love story. What a beautiful love story. And to share that with me, like, kind of gave me a little ray of hope. You know what I mean? Because I'm not going through my life like, oh, I'm 32. Oh, my God, I'm single. But it's just interesting when someone shares a similarity and an inspiring moment with you, and they don't even know you. So when I think about aging shouldn't be people, oh, I'm getting old, oh my God, being old, this fear of aging, this fear of all these things, it's not, there's no need for that. If you already have if you make sure that your priority is to already have a rich, fulfilling life, the older you get, the better it's going to be. Your money's going to come up. You're going to have that retirement. You're going to have your pensions and all these things set up. So now you can really ball out. Shoot, you might even be able to retire early. You can invest in some things, and then you can do that whole, I go to Florida in the winter, come back in the in the summer, and I have a yacht, and I have my RV, and I have all these things. Why? Because you prepared, and you already were of the mindset to enjoy life to its fullest in your 20s, in your 30s. You see what I'm saying? And those people, that you can just see the difference in them. They're not like the type of people that, not due to any type of hardship or fate or bad luck, but by being positive, giving, upbeat, and hopeful, and just overall good human beings, and smart and determined and did I say strategic? They're not at Dollar General standing on their feet for 8 hours working, or the 7-Eleven or a grocery store working in an older age. It's so unfortunate to see, but at what point did that individual fail to say, one day I am going to be aging. I may not have friends and family to depend on. So what do I need to do now to enjoy my life and set it up so that I will not have to do certain things at an older age, especially if I'm being realistic, I may not be able to do a job forever. What does my life what do I need to do? So that's another thing. You're looking at it from I got to be realistic and consider my health and my well-being and my livelihood in my older age. And I also want to continue to be me and have fun and be young and lively. And let me tell you something about older men. I feel like older men have an easier time with this. I was telling my sister, they roll like, you can't tell me how old I am. They out here like with the best of them. And when their pockets are deeper and they still look good and they still got that little pep in their step, they feel like they can talk to these young girls. They feel like they can go to bike week. They feel like they can do all the things, and they have no shame. They have no reservations. And they are here to live their life because they're already like, shit, do I have another 50 years? I don't know. Do I have another 20, 30 years? Maybe, maybe not. So I'm going to do me. I've heard so many older men tell me, I don't care what anybody thinks. I do what I want to do. And they mean that. They mean that. And they be there. Y'all know. And some people think it's creepy. Some people think it's weird to look up and it's, a whole lot of young people, or it's a party, or it's, but guess what? They usually have the most to do the most. Okay. So y'all are on the dock. He got the boat. Okay. Let's just be real. Y'all are on the sideline standing. He got the section. Okay. Y'all might be driving. She can fly. I mean, come on now, because they have worked hard. They want to work hard, play hard, or they are proud of their career. They're proud that they have retired. They're proud that they still have their health. They're proud that they made it through that back surgery. And so they are going to live and embody this moment. So you can't tell them nothing. They don't care. They have no embarrassment, nothing. I think we can all take note of that. So while you're over here like, well, I don't know, because my beach body is not where I wanted to be because I just had this baby. So this summer I might just take it easy. I didn't reach my goals. Or, maybe I shouldn't go to this function with the kids, because they're just so much to pack up and take. It's a lot of crying. It's a lot of, moving around. And I just feel like people are going to be looking, staring, and make me feel uncomfortable. Or maybe because I don't have a babysitter, because I don't have a village, I just going to have to sit all this stuff out and just blah. And you make all these examples. You make all these excuses as to why you can't live a life and have fun and show up and show out at whatever level you're at. It doesn't have to be much, but just do something and be proud that you're there. Be proud that you got your babies, and don't be afraid to go alone. I talk about that all the time. Do not be afraid you see something on Instagram, you see something on Eventbrite, and because you don't have no man, or because your girlfriends are all booed up, or because their work schedules and everybody's so busy, or maybe you hit everybody up and nobody, for whatever reason, nobody can go with you, therefore you don't go, and you don't want to look like you're the only one standing there rubbing your shoulder, looking down in your phone. You don't know how to be present and meet new people and just be. So if you can't practice and live that now, when you're 70 and widowed, heaven forbid, it's very easy to fall back into those same habits. It's very easy to just sink back into this like, oh, I can't because I'm too old and people are going to look at me like, what is this old lady doing here? No. Go to the party, dance, show up, get dressed, be you. These women are doing them. And sometimes, like I said, it's the little things in life. I want to be able to sit on my front porch too in the middle of the day when I'm 50. And we know that's not old, but I'm not going to be, no. I know they keep raising the retirement age and things like that. But again, if you're smart and you are 10 steps ahead of these people in this system, you're going to be like, that don't work for me. That does not work for me. So I'm going to have things set up so that when I want to retire, I can retire. Or my kid's going to be, mama, look, that's enough. We know you love nursing, but, some people are passionate about their careers. Some people retire and they miss being busy. So they pick up volunteering. They pick up, all these different things. That's okay because at least you're still fulfilling yourself and your life is rich in what you want it to be. It's all in the options. It's all in what you want to do and how you want to feel. All in how you want to feel. And it just blesses my heart. And it's just so exciting to see the women and the gentlemen in their older years still just like showing up. Oh my God, let me tell you. Went to a club, a choice club, not everybody's vibe, but one of the waitresses, again, I don't know why she's still waitressing at her age, but she would get out there and she would hit this little number. And then she'd turn it around and then she'd back it up. And I'd be like, okay, mama. It's the confidence. You want a room full of 20-year-olds, 20-something-year-olds. Maybe have a few 30-year-olds scattered throughout there. They're doing their thing. They're doing, and she's hanging with the best of them. And do you know she made some money? The dollars started flying, and everybody had such a good laugh, and she was so well received. She was so well received. So well received. She got her money from her little hustle, and she got her money from doing her little dance. She was feeling the song. I don't know, but I just love seeing it. And I mean, nobody was like, get this old lady out of here. Somebody get that grandma. What's going on here? No, it's respect. And that could be a cultural thing that I think that's just our vibe anyway with our elders. But, it starts now. It starts with the decision. It starts with how you show up for yourself. You don't start putting on makeup in your late 60s and 70s. You don't. You already got to be of that mindset. You really do. You got to know that you it. You got to feel it. You got to feel it and believe it. You got to feel it and believe it. Oh no, my hair getting tangled. Volunteering is another thing. I mentioned that before, but I didn't touch on the feeling that you get when you volunteer, how rewarding it is. A lot of elderly people volunteer. Let's say that was their career field at one time and they just still want to continue to give back. I think that is something good for anyone to try to do at any age. Right when COVID first started getting a little sticky, like, okay, we should probably take this seriously. I had looked into mentoring young girls because I felt like at that preteen age, it's a very fragile time. And because I didn't have an older sister, I remember there being a little gap there of like wishing I had someone to talk to about certain things, but not my peers because they was going through the same stuff. So I thought about mentoring with like the big brother, big sister or Boys and Girls Club, something. But with everything going on, a lot of things were, scaling back with interaction and things like that. And so now that we are here with current times, I would love to look back into it. Autumn wants to volunteer with the animal shelter. I'm going to let her do that this summer. you know, their babysitter who is older. We love her. She's another one. She makes jewelry. She keeps that red lipstick popping. She respect. You could be like, I don't have any plans, I'm not doing anything, so therefore, what is the point? The point is that you like your red lipstick, you gonna wear your red lipstick. I will be getting home in the morning and she putting on that red lipstick. I will be leaving. She just getting there. She freshening up her red lipstick. I love it. I love it. She makes polymer clay beads. She sews. She made the girls little bowl warmers. She collects comic books. What else does she do? God. She makes quilts. She makes bags. If she makes aprons. I mean, you could just be casually talking. She's like, oh, I used to make that and da da da. She got a craft room. She's so vibrant. She wears the little button-up shirts that have like whole mural scenes on them and watercolor and rainbow, you know, and she's just such a whole vibe. And half the time I'm damn near late in here talking to her. Oh, and her husband used to ride motorcycles. I said, all right, sexy mama. She came in, had the Harley Davidson Cup. I said, I'm not about to sit here and disrespect you and be like, what you know about that? But I need to know more about that cup. And she was like, oh, yeah, we used to ride. I said, oh, a woman after my own heart, you know, and my hair is itchy. Hold on, y'all. And so for whatever reason, her husband had to stop riding. But yeah, like she said, they rode. I hope I don't have that line from the hat. No, I don't. She said they rode until, you know, very late into the game. And if you know anything about, if you've ever experienced motorcycle riding, it is a whole world. It is a whole culture with blacks and whites and everybody in between. And it's just a whole thing. And they even, you know, tease save a horse, ride a Harley. So we had that in common. And it's just the way that these people come into my life and how rewarding it is and how sweet these people are. And volunteering, that's what I was going to say. So she used to help adults learn to read. So many people had come through their early years. They had left school to work and had always just made do in life, and they just survived without knowing how to read. And so she did that for many years. And I would come home sometimes and she's still with us, obviously. She has done worksheets with the girls, and she has helped them with, you know, reading practice and math. And she's just such a mother hen, and just such she reminds me of a little sweet owl. And so, you know, I guess it's just something that I continue to, because I've always had a sweet spot for them in my heart. I always seem to attract more and more elderly people in my life. I gravitate toward them. They gravitate toward me. And they're the funniest people. There was an older white man in the pawn shop today. Y'all know I like the pawn shop. And so he was like, where's your husband? I was like, when I find him, I'll let you know. And then he tried to say, well, you know, back in my day, I was born in 1946, something. I said, 46? No. I mess when I say, you don't look a day over 50. And his eyes got so big, and everybody else around me was like, I know she But, you know, it's just those little exchanges that you really also to appreciate your age, appreciate where you're at, because you still have so much that you know that you can create and do in your life. And when you look at someone who is settled and they've made it and they're accomplished, and it's like something to aspire to, like, okay, if they can do it, I can do it. It is doable. And we also know that they have very different challenges, way more things against them than for them. You know, so we got it easy in a lot of different ways. We've got a lot of different things just laid out in front of us that, you know, we need to take advantage of, and we need to be thankful. And we need to keep that at a forefront, because I can't imagine a time when you had all these other barriers between your dreams. I can't imagine. And we have to always, I know for me, and it is my practice and my lifestyle, that I pay homage to my ancestors that are in my family line or not, that have inspired me in some way. You know, it wasn't until years later that I truly understood, like, my grandmother was a nurse. It was like something that, like, you know, but you don't really know. You don't really get it. You don't really like, and that's what I'm supposed to do. I never really saw it like that. And it was such a magical moment for me to, you know, because she was a single mom. She had three boys and one daughter. And all that her life embodied, all that she was, all that she did, you know, like, if she could do it, I know I can do it because I only got 2 kids and I have all these other things that, you know, at my disposal that, you know, give me a leg up. So I want to live in a way that also honors her, and she paved the way, kind of thing. And also too, even the sad stories of the ones that have gone before us, that their lives had some heartache. They are 2 lessons learned, and like in that we can take from it. I want to note, last thing, the women that pass too soon, the women that develop certain conditions that are rooted in their happiness, their forgiveness, all these other things that are more emotional. We know that things settle in our bodies and they represent things. When I feel a pain in my body, the first thing I think is, what am I missing? What's going on with me? Not, oh my God, what did I catch? What's going on? Because I have no control over this. Everything, I truly believe everything is able to be healed, and everything can be overcome, but it starts here. It starts here. So even in the stories that I hear, that it's like, you know, I don't think it was just, you know, if you know something, a little something about their personal life and their disappointment and their heartbreak over a spouse, over a type of divorce or some way, or loss of a child or something that was never reconciled and healed and made whole in their life, a lot of times you see a correlation with things, onset of conditions that they never could overcome. And it's scary, but it's a reminder to you, and should be a reminder to all of us, that, you know, we're still so fragile, and how we think and how we feel is more important than all the outward things that are going on. So let's say I get remarried, and I'm so happy to be remarried, and he's the love of my life in many ways. I mean, nobody does it just for the money, just for the come up, just for all these other things. We know that we value human connection and what all that a man brings to your life, the protection, the reassurance, the I got you, baby, all of that. Okay, I'm not gonna get all into that, but I know what my man do for me, and it feels so good. If I'm not giving it to myself, it feels good to come from there. So you take that, you add betrayal in there. Yes, I'm sure that would be like an arrow through my heart. I have felt that pain before with loss. No closure, no answers. Everybody's looking at me like, how could this have happened? I'm going to wrap this up. I didn't mean to get down this. But can you imagine if my whole identity was so in my new husband that I lost myself, and I never healed from that. I never forgave myself or him, and I took it all personal. What did I do wrong? How did I not love him enough? Why did he even come in my life? All this regret, all of this just spiraling out of control, this psycho energy behind why this so supposedly being seemingly perfect marriage union has ended like this in my life. Some people are not able to overcome that. So what does it do? It festers. It brews. It like slowly poisons you. It bleeds through. It's behind your eyes when you smile. You're never able to move on. You're never able to fully let go. He's always in the background. Oh, he's going to be at this family function. Oh, did you see on Facebook he got remarried? Oh, did you see the new baby? Oh, you know, he's moving here. He's doing this. You're never able to. You're always constantly reminded and retortured, and the bleeding starts all over again. I think I would be struggling too. And when you're sick, you know, you are showered with attention and support and all these things that feel good, but the damage is done because you were never able to separate your value and your self-worth. Or I'm using me as an example. I was never able to separate my life, my worthiness, my purpose, my identity from a person who I met, who I just so happened to marry. I don't care how connected we are. You will never be me. And just because I took your name will never mean that I am no longer me. As soon as you say you're going to divorce me, I'm 2 steps ahead of you. I've already filed to put my name back to whatever I want to be. I might even pick a new name. I might go back to my maiden name. I might go back to my late husband's name. Whatever. He will be scratching his head. Am I going to cry? Hell yeah. Am I going to feel the pain? Hell yeah. Am I going to disappear and lay low for a little bit? Maybe. Am I going to cry to my daughters and cry to my friends and maybe go to a little therapy? Absolutely. But I'm not going to stop. And I'm not going to let that be the power that ends my life. Because he is doing him. He is going on. And that's another thing that I noticed that broke my heart with a lot of things. And it may not even be tied to an individual. It could be things that you haven't healed within yourself. It could be shortcomings and disappointments that you have harbored or a secret or whatever it is. Whatever you need to do, you need to do it, and you need to get to doing it now, today, yesterday, and maintain it. Because nothing is worth your life. Yes, we are all going to close our eyes, but how is your story going to be written? What are you going to close your eyes from? Heartbreak and cancer? A condition that you lose your voice because you never knew how to show up as yourself. A condition that represents that, you harbored resentment or whatever. This is just for me. These are the things that I believe. There's no question and everyone knows that, or you should know that all the different history and even spanning all the different religious beliefs around your chakras, whether you want to come from a philosophical or new age or however, everyone can identify with the chakras. The chakras represent certain things. The chakras are tied to certain body parts. The chakras represent all these different things. And if a chakra's out of whack, then it means this, that, and the other. Where does that come from? So as it is with that being tied to your well-being and the whole total package of you, so it is that it can be a possibility. Just think about it. Just keep it open-minded. But this is what I believe, that your emotional well-being and how you feel and what you think has a huge thing to do with, again, how your body functions for you. And as time goes on, things will show up. So if you have a slow leak under your sink and you never address it, your house is going to be beautiful for a very long time. Slow leak. You're not going to see the mold developing. You're not going to see the wood deteriorating. You're not going to see all the damage up underneath, behind everything. But you got the granite countertops. You got the beautiful black cabinets and the glass cabinets and the potluck. Your kitchen is immaculate until it all falls apart because underneath it all you had some issues. And you may or may not have known. But it's good to check in with yourself. Go ahead and face some things that you know you're holding on to and let it go. So that when you close your eyes, that's the point I was going to make. Yes, we're all going to die. I'm not afraid of death. But I'm in my bed, sleep. I did not wake up. Not because something, whittled away at me, a pain, my past, whatever, and caused me to end my life in that way. So, enjoy the journey. Embrace aging. We're aging every day anyway. I can't wait till my locks turn silver. I mean, I am going to be the most silver fox of them all. Okay? I already know. I've already claimed it. I mean, they're going to be Snow White and down my back. not gray, white. And so I hope that video was entertaining and inspiring in some way. Thank you for watching, and until the next video, peace. Bye.